Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA. Let's talk about what is happening to NVIDIA and the market today, what we can expect moving forward, and all that good stuff. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. But again, guys, as usual, I do have a YouTube membership section. So if you enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts on the charts, updates, etc. Well, again, I do share my thoughts with my members every single day as the market's open and trading. So definitely check that out. Link is below to join if you're interested at the top of the description. Click that, you get access to this page where you can join if you're interested. For just $3 a month, you get access to all my Tesla updates, different time frame analysis, options, flow, and broader market updates. Again, just $3 a month. For tier 2, $5 a month. You get access to that plus the NVIDIA updates. And then tier 3, of course, for $7 a month, you get access to the whole package, really, right? You get access to my tier 3 posts, including talking about stocks that are not Tesla, not NVIDIA. Access to private Discord. We have a tier 3 chat room there, members, trading, chatting, etc. And I do chart reviews every single Sunday with members on Discord as well. But jumping into it. NVIDIA down 2% on the day at 202.89. It did lose that 205 level, but the 200 level is the one I'm personally most interested in, right? This is where, it's kind of that psychological level. But more importantly, while the daily is still obviously a little bit extended, right? The 9 EMA is still sitting all the way at like 195. 1 hour, the daily is not going to give us much information yet, right? It's just not. That's just how it is. 1 hour, however, as we zoom in, and that's my main focus right now, is going to give us a bit more information. And arguably, it's even based on this after hours price action, is trying to get a bit of a breakout. You can see the 1 hour SMI got a reset to the bottom end of the spectrum. Now, again, worth mentioning, the 4 hour is still overextended. The daily is still very extended. So the bigger timeframes are still extended, right? Which is why I do think that, which I'll go over more soon, of course, any pop that we get from here, I do think will be still an overall short-lived pop, but a pop nonetheless, right? So the way I look at it is this. Now that the 1 hour is looking like it wants to potentially pop from here, as long as NVIDIA doesn't do two things. Number one, lose 200. Number two, lose this trend line, which guess what? Pretty much both line up around $200 per share. 200, 201. As long as those levels hold, I actually do think there's a pretty good chance, especially if this after hours movement holds, that NVIDIA gets one more pop higher, right? For instance, we open up here, come back down, retest, and then head higher. That's my kind of base expectations right now, with obviously, again, that risk being essentially a loss of about $200 to $201 per share. And it's so far playing almost according to plan. This is what I told my members about this morning when I told them how I think NVIDIA is going to be moving. I don't know where that post is. I'm sure you believe me if I'm sure you believe me. It's somewhere. I think it was here. Was it this one? Yeah, I'm talking about this one. I made another post where I even outlined how I think it'll look like. And it was actually playing it out almost to perfection. This one here, right? This is what I told my members 6 hours ago, actually, how I think it's going to play out, right? Something like this. And that's, hey, you know what? Honestly, pretty close. If I do say so myself, hey, you know what? It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Pretty good if I do say so myself. So with that being said, like I said, as long as we hold this after hours movements, and honestly, even if we don't, as long as we just don't lose 201 to 200, I do actually believe that there could be one more pop. Now the pop, I do believe will be sold eventually. I don't think it's going to be some crazy pop to like, 220, 250, something insane. I think this pop would be more of a shorter term pop. At the very least, the first target being to about 210 to as high as about 212. Somewhere around this general vicinity right here is what I think the pop will go to. But I do think that will eventually, fade. And then I think that will eventually get sold off, mainly because, again, the larger time frames like the 4 hour, SMI is still pretty extended up here, now also crossing back down, so there is that concern. The daily 9 EMA is still pretty distant away from the overall price. Now with this after hours price movement, we're still about 4.5% away from it, right? So the bigger time frame, the bigger pictures, it's still pretty extended. It is absolutely worth mentioning. But it doesn't mean that we can't get some fun still on the shorter time frames. And again, in this case, the 1 hour time frame. So in my opinion, watch for that, right? Again, as long as this holds right here, one more pop, 210, 212 ish, give or take, of course, something like that. And then I do think once eventually this trend line is lost, which it will be, right? That's just how things go. It will be lost. We're not going to keep this trend line for the rest of history. It will get lost, most likely after this pop, right? I do think then we'll get a deeper retracement, and then, we'll have to reassess, of course, from there. But my current expectation would be to, at the very least, on the daily time frame, come back down to the 9 exponential moving average, wherever it's sitting at that point, as low as, maybe back to 200 to maybe 195 as well. So again, we'll come to that as we come to that. But again, it's worth understanding the fact that where the daily is extended and the 4 hour SMI is all the way up here, and now even curling down to the downside and crossing bearish, the bigger picture, I wouldn't say the bigger picture, the 1 to 2 week picture, not it is bullish. It's just it's extended, right? It's extended. That's the only difference, right? It's extended. It is what it is, right? It is extended. So we'll potentially, maybe form like a larger kind of bull flag on the 4 hour / daily time frame or something like that, right? But again, shorter time frame. Yeah, I do think that we can get a small little pop here on the 1 hour. So about 210 ish, right? 210, 212, something like that. So that's what I'll be watching for moving forward. But yeah, there's really not much more to say in terms of options. So let's take a quick peeksy-weeksy here to see what's happening with NVIDIA. About 50 million confirmed call flow, which is great. 11 million bearish flow. So, bulls are still overall dominating. Nothing too crazy today, right? I'm not seeing anything too wild. I guess you can say there's a 3 million, 1114, which is in about 2 weeks, 205 call. I guess you can say they bought this when NVIDIA was at 202.35. So pretty much where we are right now. But other than that, it's just standard, nice, strong, bullish flow. But again, I do believe that NVIDIA should head higher from here, at least as it stands right now. So all in all, guys, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace.